There are a lot of fun trends to do, however some of them can unalive you. Today we'll look at
the most disturbing trends ever.
Like and subscribe to stay safe. This first trend was from dentists who would hurt kids
by pulling their teeth out.
This gets disturbing, so let's check it out.
Here's why you should never trust your dentist. This devil right here is dentist Harold Schneider. He's famous for pulling out way more teeth than needed. He's worked on thousands of children and puts them in a straitjacket while they scream for their lives. This guy has literally children and laughed while doing it. Some moms were so mad they showed up at his house to fight him, but all his charges were dropped because apparently he has a mental condition, and said he did all this because the government was paying for each tooth pulled.
Clouds, this is so messed up. If I was one of those kids, I would be so scared. He tied kids up, hurt them, and removed their teeth for no reason. I can't believe that the government was paying to do this evil stuff. Rest in peace to the people that went there. Do any of you guys own a cat? Well, this trend is so disturbing because it
can unalive your cat.
This is horrifying, so watch until the end.
This may be the worst trend in all of TikTok history. Basically what people are doing is they are opening up a water bottle like this person right here behind me, and then putting the water bottle in front of their cat to make it seem like they're going to give their cat some water. Naturally, of course, cats are going to be curious. They're going to inspect the water bottle and, try to actually drink some of the water. And when they are about to do this, like this cat right here behind me, the person holding the water bottle decides to squeeze the water bottle, causing water to go all over the cat.
Holy Roomy, this is so messed up. I found this disturbing footage. Let's check it out.
And this is exactly how a cat loses trust in their owner. I feel like anyone partaking in this trend is just not a very good pet owner. And just so much could go wrong, especially, a cat being so small with small noses. So once again, I think this is the worst trend in TikTok history. If you partake in this trend, shame on you.
Holy boba, that cat went flying clouds, and because of this trend, cat was actually unalived as it started to choke on the water. Please do not do this. Do you play gacha life? Well, there is actually a gross trend called
gacha heat.
And it is sus videos that only adults should watch. But these TikTokers are weird and show it to kids. Here is an example of one.
Suck my spine, it's a spiritual healing. I've never been fuck your feelings. So suck my spine, it's a spiritual healing. I've never been fuck your feelings.
As you can see, this video is super sus. And the next one is even weirder, so watch until the end.
Babe, I'm gonna take a shower, okay? Hey, babe, you don't need to do that, right? The babe.
This trend is usually done by kids who don't know it's bad, but sometimes grown-ups do it as well, which is really weird. Don't ever watch these videos, clouds, and please don't make them, as it is inappropriate. Did you know there is an evil trend where you are
forced to bite the ground?
Bite the curb is a scary trend that can unalive you. This video will explain.
Your head is forced onto a curb, and your teeth and jaw are pressed against the concrete edge. When the stomper applies force, your jaw is violently crushed against the curb. The pressure shatters your teeth and can break your jaw instantly. Your skull might also absorb some of the impact, causing severe trauma to your brain. Without immediate medical attention, these injuries can result in long-term damage or death.
This is super evil and sad. How could someone ever do this to a friend they love? They is so messed up. Clouds, never hurt your friends. Clouds, this next trend is super sad because it actually unalived someone I know. This gets really disturbing, so watch until the end.
He ate one spicy chip and fainted. You see, this challenge dared people to eat a chip coated in 2 of the world's hottest peppers and see how long they could wait before drinking. He woke up but passed out again a few hours later and ended up dying in the hospital. You see, he had a condition where one of his heart's main arteries ran through the muscle instead of on top of it. So, when the extreme spice of the chip made his heart beat extra hard, it squeezed that artery shut and stopped his heart from beating.
Clouds, I feel bad for him. This guy actually went to my friend's school, and now he is not alive, which is so sad. I believe this chip doesn't exist anymore, but if it does, never eat it. But Clouds, these next trends made me poop my pants, so watch until the end. I am sure everyone knows what brain rot it is. However, it has gotten too far and has even got disturbing. This video will explain everything.
Let's talk about
𝗀𝘂𝗯𝗀𝗃 𝗂𝘂.
Recently on Facebook, there is a post about the 𝗀𝘂𝗯𝗃 𝗁 brain rot. This was posted in May 3, 2025, but it is now deleted. So there is this one kid who couldn't sleep because of a specific brain rot, which is 𝗀𝘂𝗯𝗃 𝗁. The kid kept waking up on exactly 3:17 at the middle of the night, not 3 p.m. or 3:30 p.m. When the kid wakes up, he was very scared and kept crying. So 𝗀𝘂𝗯𝗃 𝗁 has 17 letters right. That's why he kept waking up on 3:17 p.m. He would just stare at the window, not speaking or moving. This is because he kept dreaming about 𝗀𝘂𝗯𝗃 𝗁 if he sleeps, and if he doesn't wake up on 3:17 p.m. He thinks that 𝗀𝘂𝗯𝗃 𝗁 will hit him with a baseball bat. The kid was only 7 years old, by the way.
Holy chicken, that is so terrifying. I always had a bad feeling about Italian brain rip. That's why I never will do these trends. I don't think it's bad to play games like Steal a Brain Rot, but I would stay away from bad brain rot trends like this. This next trend confused me so bad. Because what do you mean? People are pouring boiling water on themselves just for a challenge.
Trends that are dangerous.
Boiling water challenge.
Basically, in this trend, a person would boil water, go outside and pour it on themselves. This caused many people to get third-degree burns. Some people even put salt in the water so it'd be more painful. The salt would hurt the wounds because the person also got badly burnt. Many people had to go to the emergency room or the hospital. Stay safe.
I feel so bad for everyone that got hurt. But this is not the only trend that involves water or salt. There is also another trend where you eat a bunch of salt until you get sick.
Trends that should have never been trends. Part 1. The salt water trend. This is when you will put as much salt in water. Some people would have heart attacks. Some would even die. Please don't do this trend, by guys.
So I'm guessing you just pour a bunch of salt into water and drink it, which is super dangerous. I do not get why anyone would do any of these trends. They are all super harmful. I really recommend to not do these trends. This next trend was a performance trick that a lot of magicians do. Most of the time it goes well. However, one time it went really badly. This video should explain everything.
Let's talk about magic show gone wrong. This show was performed by a man and his wife. They're supposed to cut the wife into 3 pieces. She gets in the box, and the guy starts sawing her legs. It all seemed to be going well until they got to the head part. The man was about to cut her head, but the wife's head got stuck in the box. She can't pull her head through the middle part of the box, so she couldn't change her head into a fake one. The wife was trying to signal the problem, but the man didn't notice because of the background music and the chainsaw. Then, the wife's head was being... This show was absolutely horrifying. Please don't watch the video, especially if you have a weak stomach. Stay safe.
Holy flip-flops clouds. That actually so sad. Imagine how many young kids saw the video, or even saw it in real life. I feel so bad. If any of you all want to be magicians when you grow up, I would recommend to do very safe talent show tricks that will get no one hurt. The next trend we will talk about is the timer trend. This is similar to the lip balm trend, but much more disturbing. Let's see what happens.
Trends that should have never been trends. PD5. The timer challenge. This one consists on people putting a timer of 24 hours. When the timer was over, people would 𝗀𝗂𝗯𝗀𝗀 themselves. Some people would fake it for likes or attention. Thank you so much for 4,000 and stay safe.
So basically, people would put on a timer for 24 hours or less. Then, they would wait to see if anybody reaches out for help. If the timer goes off, they would end themselves. Even though most of the people that made TikToks about this were lying, this trend is still sad because some real people did actually lose their lives. Just like the lip balm trend. If you feel like doing something bad like this, let your parents know, that way they can help you. This next trend is called
the penny trend.
The worst trends to ever exist. Part 1. The penny challenge. What people would do was put a penny between a phone charger that was plugged in halfway. When people did this, they expected a little shock. But bigger things happened for some people. People caused houses to catch on fire and caused fires in schools.
To be honest, as crazy as this trend is, I can understand why someone would do it. Sometimes I haven't wanted to put stuff in the outlets to see what would happen, but I had to stop myself. Lol. And it seems like nothing too bad would happen, because it's just a penny, right? But that's the complete opposite. Because of this trend, some people's houses burnt down, and much more catastrophic things. As much as you may want to, please don't put anything in outlets. The next challenge is known as the Skullbreaker Challenge. And by the name, you can already tell this is gonna be pretty bad.
Another dangerous trend is the Skullbreaker Challenge. For this challenge, 3 people would have to participate. The middle person's objective was to jump as high as they can, while the other 2 people kick both legs of the middle person. This would make the jumper fly back really fast, causing head injuries, back injuries, and more. Many people were sent to the hospital due to this trend, and it is said that a guy from Sweden got paralyzed from doing this trend. The person in the middle would be tricked into jumping for a photo, so the middle person never agreed to be kicked and face injuries. Don't ever attempt these challenges.
This trend is actually so sad, because it is your own friends doing this to you. Imagine your own friends tricking you, and then you end up being paralyzed. That would be so sad, because you would not be able to move for the rest of your life. This is one of the worst trends we went over today. Please don't ever do this.
Trends that shouldn't have been trends. PD5, the Tide Pod trend. The Tide Pod trend was a very dangerous trend. Most of the victims of this trend was children under 9 or less. A Tide Pod was a little pack that had cleaning chemicals in them, and seeing videos of others eating the pods, kids would too. This took place in 2017 to 2019 in December. It was so sad how a little pod could most likely end your whole life. In somewhat 2018 it made its way to the news. The news warned parents and their kids about eating Tide Pods. Once the Tide Pod made it to your throat, it would clog your vocal cords and stop your breathing. This ended in late 2019. They were taken off the market until 2020. The trend was then forgotten. Thanks for
𝘀𝗀𝗯𝗀𝗏. She said that this trend was forgotten, but I remember trend perfectly. I remember all the kids at school were talking about it, and some of them even did it. A lot of kids ended up sick, and someone lost their lives. As edible as Tide Pods looks, I recommend not to eat them as they obviously hurt you. The next challenge we will talk about is the Benadryl challenge. This is a type of medicine you take. However, people on TikTok started to do the wrong thing with it.
Trends that should have never been trends. PT11, the Benadryl challenge. This challenge emerged in 2020. It would include Benadryl, a medicine used to treat allergies. In this challenge, the participant would deliberately consume higher than the recommended doses of the medicine. Too much of it can cause hypothermia, organ damage, a coma, or even death. Several have been hospitalized. And 15-year-old 𝘀𝗂𝗯𝗀𝗏 Phillips in Oklahoma teen passed away from an overdose after attempting to take part.
This is so insane. I am starting to wonder who starts these challenges, and why did they start them, as they are all so evil. So basically with this challenge, you simply take a bunch of Benadryl. However, that is very bad for you. I hope that none of you do these, as they are all harmful. The final challenge we will talk about is the Blue Whale Challenge. This is actually the creepiest challenge of them. Also, please make sure to watch until the end.
Trends that should have never been trends. PT2, the Blue Whale Challenge. This game originated in Russia 2016. How it worked was a stranger with this PFP, a man disturbingly dressed up as Goofy, would message you asking if you want to play a game.
Did you clouds see that man's face? It is so creepy. I actually remember seeing this trend. Now that I see his face, it used to terrify me so bad. Out of every creepy myth I have gone over, this one is the worst by far.
If you said yes, the stranger would give you a series of challenges. Harmless at first, but then they would ask you to hurt yourself. Eventually, they would ask you to end your life. And if you refused, they would find where you live undo it themselves.
Oh my goodness, this sounds awful. And clouds, you may think it ends here, but this gets much worse. People on TikTok actually decided to make this a huge trend, where everyone changed their profile pictures to this creepy man and text to people, "Want to play a game?" After they got the victim to play a game, they would play this creepy video, and at the end of the video, the creepy TikTokers would start to look for them. This is probably the creepiest thing I have ever seen in my life, and the things that these people were doing is awful. Like, why would you ask all these terrible questions to kids? That is so disturbing. I hope this trend never comes back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye bye, clouds.